You're sitting at your desk, trying to decide on a new keyboard that can handle both your Mac and Windows devices. You've been looking at the Keychron K8 Tenkeyless wireless mechanical keyboard, and you're wondering if it's the right choice for you. This review is affiliate linked, but it's not sponsored by the brand, so I'll give you my honest take on it. The Keychron K8 is a wireless mechanical keyboard designed for people who need to switch between Mac and Windows devices regularly. It's a Tenkeyless keyboard, which means it doesn't have a numpad, and it's priced around the mid to high end of the keyboard market. If you're someone who values a compact keyboard with a solid build and reliable connectivity, this might be a good option for you. If you're someone who spends a lot of time typing on both Mac and Windows devices, and you're looking for a keyboard that can keep up, the Keychron K8 is worth considering. It's also a good choice if you're looking for a keyboard with a Tenkeyless layout, which can be more compact and portable than a full-size keyboard. However, if you're someone who relies heavily on a numpad for work or gaming, you might want to look elsewhere. The Keychron K8 has a solid build, with a weight of around 430 grams and a compact Tenkeyless design. It's made of plastic, with a smooth finish and a white backlight that's adjustable. The keyboard comes with a USB-C cable, a switch puller, and additional keycaps for Mac and Windows. The build quality is generally good, with a sturdy construction and reliable switches. However, some users have reported issues with the keyboard's durability over time, such as the backlight fading or the switches becoming less responsive. In real-world use, the Keychron K8 performs well in most scenarios. For example, if you're working on a Mac and need to switch to a Windows device, the keyboard's Bluetooth connectivity makes it easy to pair and unpair devices. The keyboard's battery life is typically around 10 to 15 hours, depending on usage, and it can be charged via USB-C. However, if you're someone who needs a keyboard with a long-range wireless connection, the Keychron K8 might not be the best choice, as its range is typically around 10 meters. If you're a gamer, the Keychron K8 is a good option, with a response time of around 1 to 2 milliseconds and a polling rate of 1000 Hz. However, if you're someone who needs a keyboard with advanced macro capabilities or customizable backlighting, you might want to look elsewhere. The Keychron K8's macro capabilities are limited, and the backlighting is not customizable. In another scenario, if you're working in a quiet office environment, the Keychron K8's brown switches are a good choice, as they're relatively quiet and tactile. However, if you're someone who prefers a linear or clicky switch, you might want to consider a different keyboard. The Keychron K8 switches are not hot swappable, so you're stuck with the brown switches that come with the keyboard. The Keychron K8 also has some weaknesses that are worth considering. One of the main weaknesses is the price, which is typically around $100. While the keyboard is well built and reliable, it's not clear if it's worth the premium price. Another weakness is the lack of customizable backlighting, which might be a deal breaker for some users. Finally, the keyboard's durability over time is a concern, as some users have reported issues with the backlight fading or the switches becoming less responsive. If you're someone who values a compact, reliable keyboard with a solid build, the Keychron K8 might be a good choice for you. On the other hand, if you're someone who needs a keyboard with advanced macro capabilities, customizable backlighting, or a long-range wireless connection, you might want to look elsewhere. If you're a gamer or someone who works on both Mac and Windows devices, the Keychron K8 is worth considering. However, if you're someone who relies heavily on a numpad or needs a keyboard with a specific type of switch, you might want to consider a different option. The Keychron K8 does